everyone, welcome to another teacher training. In this video, I will walk you through the basic concepts of using Blackboard. If you've never felt like you are comfortable with Blackboard, or if you've never really used it before because your class doesn't really require it, here's a video for you to really start feeling more at ease with it. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through some tips and tricks of how you can use the tools on Blackboard. Now, when we first log into Blackboard, this is what we see. It's under the My Institution tab, and we have a few great announcements here, like, the 5 things you need to do as a student, so a great list for students, and they see this as well. Another great thing is, for example, they give flyers for like free tutoring or other things going on campus. So for example, I would actually go ahead and right-click this and select Save Image As. And I'll go ahead and save it as Smart Thinking Tutoring. I'll leave that name and leave it on my desktop, save, because I'm going to make an announcement for this in my class. I think it's fantastic for my students. Now, I want to go ahead and go right back up here and find my courses, right? Up here on my right, it's that middle tab. It says Courses. When I select this, I'm going to find all my courses. Now, if you've been teaching at any institution for a while and you find yourself with this immense list of courses because you're seeing your old courses as well, I will teach you how to fix it and condense it so it's really easy to navigate. Now, if you're finding yourself in this predicament, the first thing you want to do is select that little tool, right? It looks kind of like a little screw or a little knob. And when you select this, it's for their settings. Now you're going to go ahead and deselect all of the classes that you're not in and only leave the ones that you're currently teaching. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, just take away all those classes that I am not teaching in that are taking so much space on my Blackboard and are truly just making me kind of dizzy. And I'm going to hit that submit button. Oh, I see I left a few behind, right? So I'm going to go back, and if this happens to you, great learning experience. I'm going to go back to that little tool for my settings, and I'm going to take away those that I forgot here up on the top. Again, I'm going to go back to that little submit button on the right-hand corner, and I'm going to hit submit. Now I am only seeing the classes where I'm currently an instructor, nothing old, right? Now I'm going to go into that class or select the class that I want to start creating content for. So I'm going to go ahead and select my course. Now, when I go into my course, the first thing that I'm going to walk into is my home page. It's my home page. So I'll give it a moment just to get it sorted as we walk into this home page. So here we go. The first thing that I'm looking at is my home page. So now on the top, I can see that I have a block that says My Announcements. This is for what that flyer we talked about, the one that we saved, was for. Here in this block, we can add announcements of important things going on in the program, important things going on in school, important things going on in class, something you really want them to get, knowledge of. So in order to do that, I want to go ahead and click on More Announcements. Right? And I'm going to click on Create Announcement. I'm going to create announcement. I'm going to give it a moment for it just to load up, and I'm going to give it a subject. So in this case, I will make it tutoring. And I can leave a message. Hello all, or hello class. Attached, please find a flyer for some tutoring options available. Now, if I want to go ahead and send the class an email, I can send a copy of this announcement immediately, which is fantastic because some students will tell you, I didn't get on Blackboard on time and I didn't see that. Well, if you have your email, then you can have that announcement as well. So I like to give them that double whammy, right? And then we can go ahead and select Submit right in the bottom corner, and we're going to be creating that announcement. And here it is. There we go, right? I created my tutoring announcement. They're going to receive an email, and they're also going to see it pop up on their home page. Now, and I'm receiving the email as well because you're going to receive a copy. That's that sound. Now, let's say I want to go back to my home page. What can I do, right? So I'm going to go to my little menu on my left-hand side over here, and I'm going to find that tab that says Home Page. When I select it, this is what I'm going to find again, right? Here, there's tasks of what the students have to do once you start implementing that content, right? Anything that's new that you've added will also pop up here. Like if you've added a PowerPoint, they're going to get notifications. Anything that needs attention. So for example, for you, that will be things that need grading. So things that need grading will pop up here and kind of alert you, hey, remember that you have to grade this, right? For them, they get alerts for anything that's past due, right? Because we give everything a due date, and I will teach you to do that as well. And what's going on, right? What do they have to do in terms of assignments right now, right? So these are some tools the students can use, and I will make a video for them walking them through how to use these tools. Now, if I want to go ahead and I want to create some content on my class or in my class, the first thing I want to do is I want to go to that menu on the left-hand side and select the plus side. Now, let's say that I want to create a folder for all of the weeks of my class, right? Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, all the way to how many ever weeks are on your campus or in your school, however your program works. So I'm going to go ahead and select the plus sign, and under that, I'm going to click on Content Area. And I'm going to give it a name. For my example, I'm going to use weekly assignments, okay? Or weekly or you could say weekly sessions. Okay, so we'll give it weekly sessions. Now, I'm not going to make it available to any users just yet. And the reason why is because I don't want them to have access while I'm working on the folder. Once we finish with everything inside of the content area, inside of this folder, I will go ahead and give them access, and we'll teach you how to do that at the end. So I want to go ahead and select Submit. Now, I know that they don't have access because there's a little square with that dash going through it. So I know the students cannot see it. Now, I know this because if I go to the right-hand upper corner, there's a little on button with a green light, which means that right now we are on edit mode. It means we are working as professors and we can edit anything in the classroom. If we select that on button, it will turn it off. This means we are now on student mode, and we can see everything the student can see as well. If we go to that little menu, can you note the weekly sessions or weekly assignments are no longer available? They're no longer visible. That's because we've made it this way so the student cannot be in there while we're working on it. Now, to get back into the editing mode, we're going to go back to the right-hand corner, select the off button, and make it on. Again, we see the on with the little green light, so we know we are back in the professor mode. And we know this because if we turn back to that menu, here is that tab we created for weekly sessions. Now, let's get started. Let's start working under weekly sessions. Under weekly sessions, we're going to go ahead and click on this tab, and we're going to start creating those folders for each week and all of the material. Now, when I go into the tab, the first thing that I want to do is select Build Content and create Content Folder if I'm going to be creating something for every week, right? So let's say that I am creating content for week 1. I will give it a name, week 1, and then I will give it a description. I will tell the students what they will find in this folder. For example, I can have videos, I can have PowerPoints, and I can have assignments, right? Assignments. So here we go. We have videos, PowerPoints, and assignments. And when I go to, again, that little right-hand corner at the bottom, I click on Submit. And now I have created my first week 1 folder. Now, let's say I forgot to add something, or once I started to realize that I'm adding content, I didn't add something to my description. It's simple to edit. Just click on that little circle with the arrow pointing down, select Edit, and you can make any changes you want to the name or to even the description. Now, the reason why we don't select anything for display after or display until is because these folders in particular are going to be shown throughout the entirety of the semester. This means we don't want them to go away at a certain point. We only do this for quizzes, tests, or assignments that we want to show up at a certain day or time and then be removed so students can no longer have access to them. And again, once we're adding this kind of content, I'll show you how to do that. So go ahead and select Submit. And now we've made those changes, and we're going to go back to that folder to start putting some stuff in there, the videos, PowerPoints, and assignments we promised. So under week 1, I can click on that, on the name of week 1, and I have a blank folder. There's nothing in here, right? It's like opening a folder, like a real folder, and finding nothing inside. We're going to start putting those papers, those files in there. So the first thing I'm going to do is that if I want to put videos, let's say that I want to make a folder, right? I want to have everything organized. I want to have videos in one, PowerPoints in the other, and I want to have my assignments in the other. Well, the first thing I have to do is go to Build Content, and again, select Content Folder to make a folder within a folder. Here, I'm going to put videos, and I'm going to put a description on what videos they're going to find. So for example, let's say they can find History of Fashion, Introduction to Color, and some retail math videos. This is what they're going to be able to find in this particular folder, right? All of these videos. So again, I'm going to go to the back of the corner, here in the bottom corner, and I'm going to hit on Submit. This is always going to show, so we're not going to select that Display After or Display Until like we spoke about previously, right down here at the bottom. So we're just waiting for it to submit, and now we've created the tab to start adding videos. So I can go ahead and click on Videos, and I can start putting content in my video folder. Now, in order to add videos, I can click on Build Content, I can select Video, and I can create a name for my video. So let's say I have a History of Fashion video. I can give it a name, and I can either browse my computer and find one of my own videos, select it, open it, and input it. And let's say that I made a mistake, oh no, it's not that file, then I can just simply select a different file, and then I can hit Submit. I can also select Browse Mashup so that I can find YouTube videos as well as NBC content. So if I were to click on YouTube video, this is what I would get. I would have a search, and I can search for my video. So unfortunately at the moment, because of everything going on, there's something happening with the site that is not allowing us to do so. But if you were to have the video come up, you would just select it, and it would pop right up as if you were doing your own video from the computer. You would just select Submit, right? Now let's say we want to go back to those videos, right? We want to go back to that folder because we want to add more content. What do we do? Now at the top, you see that you see Search for a YouTube video. Right next to it, you have Add your YouTube video, and right next to you have those 3 little dots. We can't see it, but that's the video tab, right? It's between the weekly sessions and the YouTube videos. When we select this, right, here we go, it'll open up and we can find the videos tab and go right back to our folder to continue working on it. Now, I want to add another video. I just go back to Build Content, and again, click on Video and add another video. Now let's say I want to go back and add my PowerPoints. Great. I can go ahead and select on the top by videos. I can select week 1, and it'll bring me back to that week 1 folder, right? When I'm in my week 1 folder, I can now create a folder for those PowerPoints first. So what I want to do is that I want to go ahead and select, right, this Build Content and create Content Folder. Now under Content Folder, I'm going to name it PowerPoints, right? And here we're going to have PowerPoint for color. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Submit, and I've just created a area, right, a folder for my PowerPoint. So when I select here on PowerPoints, I can now build content and select an item or a file. So if we select file, we can give it a name and we can say color, browse our computer, and I can select what I want to choose. So if I have a PowerPoint, I can select open. Here's my PDF PowerPoint. And again, I can leave this on whenever I want with display after or display until, and select submit. Once I select submit, I am going to have now created a place for that PowerPoint or that PDF to show to my students. And we can see right here, it's uploading at the speed. It's showing right at the bottom. When I put my arrow on it, it hides, but it's giving me right now my percentage. So it's telling me how long it's going to take for my upload, and I know how long I can maybe do another task in the meantime or be doing something for another class. Sometimes I like to open up another tab here on the top, and I can be creating something while I'm waiting for something else to load. So once this is finished loading, what we'll do is that we'll go back to that PowerPoint tab, and we can add either another file if we want to just the same way, or if we're finished, because in this case we only have a PowerPoint for color, then we can go back to add that tab for our assignments. And this is where we can really do some great things, because we can add tests, we can add quizzes, we can really add a lot of information under our assignments. And they'll go right to our grade center so that they'll make it easy for us to grade. And we'll walk through that as well. Blackboard is a great tool. I know for some people it could seem like it's a lot of information, but it is easy once you get the hang of it. Now, once this is ready and it's been submitted, we can go ahead and see it, right? We can click on it, and it's going to open automatically so that we can have our presentation available to the students. Look how beautiful that presentation is, right? When I want to go back, again at the top I see color, I have PowerPoint, and I have those 3 little dots that are going to give me where I want to go. I'm going to go back to working under week 1 because I have no more PowerPoints to add, and I want to create that tab or that folder for my assignments. So I'm going to go back to that build content, I'm going to click on content folder, and now I'm going to create a folder for my assignments. So I'm going to put what assignments are in here. There's going to be a quiz. There is going to be a unit summary. All right, and we are going to go ahead and select submit to our folder. Now we have our folder where we're going to be putting our assignments, and when we select assignments, we can select our quiz and unit summary. Now, these are some great tools because under the assessment tabs, you'll find different things that we can use. Now, the ones we're going to be working with are test and assignment. Test and assignment. The first one is assignment. When I select this, I can name my assignment, mood board. I can give a description. You will create a digital mood board. And then I could browse my computer and I could add any rubrics that I need. So for example, here's my rubric. I can select it, and I now have my rubric under there. And I can give it a due date, my assignment. When is it due, right? And here I can say my assignment will be due on Friday at 11:59 p.m. This is when they must turn it in, right? And the points possible, 100 points. Now, if I don't want them to be able to see it once the due date is over, I can put display until, and I can select the due date, that Friday, and I can go ahead and put 11:59, and they can no longer see it. And I can click submit. After that day, once they enter to do this assignment, they will no longer have access to go and click on it. It will disappear from their view. So if you don't want to do that, if you still want to let them submit something even though it's late, do not select this. You want to still give them the option to see it, but there will be a due date, so you will know when they submitted it compared to the due date, allowing you to make any grade corrections that you need to make. So if you deduct anything, you can deduct once you know how many weeks they've turned in late their assignment. So then you don't want to take it away from the display. You want to make sure to always display it. Now, if I want to go ahead and add a test, I can go ahead under assignments and select test. Under test, I can either already have one created, chapter 1 test, or I create one. We're going to go ahead and create a test just to see how that works. So we're going to create the test, we're going to give it a name, and we're going to say quiz 1. This quiz, and we're going to give it a description. This quiz will be based on chapter 1. And this is just an example, right, of what you can do with it. You can give them instructions. You have 1 hour. Only 1 attempt, right? And of course, I would get more specific in these, but I am not going to take your time doing that. Once I've finished giving them all the information for the test, I can go ahead and select submit, and I can start creating questions. Now, I can create questions, right, by either coming to create questions, and I could do things with formulas. I could do essays, I could do multiple choice, I could do multiple answer, and we'll go ahead and just select multiple choice to see what that looks like. When I select multiple choice, this is what I get. I never usually give my titles to my questions. I just go ahead and write the question. So for example, I say, what is my name? And then when I scroll down, I can give them different options. I can say day, cat, dog, and hello, right? And I can go ahead and select submit. Now I'm gonna have my first question, my first multiple choice question. And I wanna make sure I select which one the answer is, right? So again, I'm gonna just go back. If I wanna edit, select that little circle with the little arrow going down, click on edit, and I want to make sure that I select which answer. So the correct one is the one that I want to make the blue. So let's say my name is dog, I want to put answer 3. If my name is cat, I want to select answer 2, and then I want to go ahead and submit. Make sure you're checking this correct answer, because if not, you're going to be giving students, you're going to be giving them the wrong answer, right? Like if they did it wrong. Now, let's say you wanted to go ahead and upload questions. You can do this as well. You can copy questions from another course, which I can show you how to do in another video, so that you can create these tests by just uploading your questions. You can go ahead and browse, and by finding them, your questions, and usually I actually have them around here. Let's see if I can show you all an example of what this looks like. Here we go. Then what we can do is that we can submit this. And I don't believe I do have one, but we can submit this and we can just upload the questions and create a quiz easily. Again, I'll just make another video making it really easy for you guys to be able to go back here. Now, if I want to go back again, I can just go ahead and submit my test, right? And when I do that, I'm going to go cancel. When I submit my test, I'm going to click OK. Only one question. And now I have both of those tests, right? So under my assignments, I can select the one that I want, which is my quiz. I can click on submit. I have my description, right? I have show the description to students before the test begin, yes. Show instructions to the students before they begin the test, yes. And then I can go ahead and either give them multiple attempts if I want them to try more than once, and then how many do I want, or are they unlimited, right? Or if I don't want to do this, make sure I leave it grayed out. I can force completion, so once started, it must be completed in one setting. I can give them a timer for 1 hour, however many minutes they need. And then again, I can choose to display it until a certain date to make sure that after that, they do not have access to get into the test. I can give it a password as well if I would like, and a due date. When is it due, right? Give my test a due date, and then go ahead and select submit. Now I created my first quiz, which is going to be available for my students. Now you see this availability item is hidden from students. Well, I'm going to go ahead and select that little circle with the arrow, and I'm going to click on make available. Make available. Now, it is all black, nothing is grayed out, and it is available for my students. So if I go back to that little week 1 on the top, I have everything that I wanted to create under week 1. Now let's say that I want to go back and add another area. Let's say I want to add a tool link for email, right? I can click on tool link. I can write email, and I can select on email for the link. Available to users because I want them to see it, and I can go ahead and click submit. Now they can see their emails. Now that weekly sessions, once I'm finished, I can go to that little circle with the arrow, go down and select show link as well, or permit guest, right? And now they're gonna have access. And I know they have access because if I go to the edit mode and click on the on button, now it says off, I'm in their view, and this is what they're seeing, right? Homepage, weekly sessions, right? When they click on week 1, here's all the information they have, their PowerPoint, this is everything they need, and their email, so they can contact all their users, they can contact students, only their instructor, or they can select who they want to contact, right? Another great tool that you can add, and we're gonna go back to that edit mode at the top, is that you can add again on tool link, you can make their grades. So my grades. So once you've made everything available in the gradebook, under my grades and all those assignments come up, you're going to select my grades down here at the bottom, available to user, and click submit. Now when they click it, they can see grades that they have. For example, for any of these assignments that you've made available, right? They're grades. Another great tool that you can use, right, again on tool link, is for your virtual classroom. I'm going to write virtual classroom, and I'm going to select on Blackboard Collaborate Ultra and make available to users, and again, hit submit. Now when I click on virtual classroom, they're going to go right into Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. Look how great this is. It is wonderful. Really, really great. Very easy for them to navigate and easy for you. You can also add a page just for your videos, right? Again, by clearing content area. If you just want an area for videos, available to users, click on submit. When I click on video, I can just add my videos one by one, right? Build content, video, and I can just add my videos right here directly. So I can do a color video, browse my computer, and then I can go ahead and find those videos to add. So I'll add one of my videos. Here I go. And I'll hit on submit, and I can put up my videos as well, right? And again, at the bottom, it tells me how long it's taking to upload. So I can go ahead and do that, and my videos will come in. Now, under course tools on the side, there's this great tool called the attendance. When we go ahead and select attendance, we will have access to being able to take attendance of our classroom. Now we can go ahead and select add attendance. And when we do that, we can give it a score. Now I usually would give 100% for being present. I give 75% for being late, since you missed a portion of the class, and 0% for being absent, and I click on save. Here you can select which option the student has, and if you want to go through all of the meetings, you can go up to overall and see every single time you have met with your class and make any changes that you need to do. Now, these are my tips and tricks for Blackboard. If you have any questions or comments, please do ask. I would love to help you. Please leave a comment at the bottom or please email me. Thank you so much. Have a good day.